Good morning, South Jersey. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday. I'm Press of Atlantic City meteorologist Dan Skeldon, continuing to monitor our nor'easter. It's a winter storm, just not a winter storm for us. Again, the big picture shows you where it is winter. Where it's white and blue, it is snowing. It is snowing hard, a foot in some places, double that, and that will be your storm total. So, living up to expectations, Poconos, North Jersey, north and west of I-95, significant snowstorm for us. Unless you were up at like 1 a.m. and saw a coating of snow and a little sleet, that was it in terms of the snow. That got washed away. We've really tried to stress over the last 24 hours, it wasn't the snow that was going to be the impact with the storm. It was the rain, the wind, and the tidal flooding. All right, the rain, the heaviest of the rain, is wrapping up in the next hour or two. All right, and radar shows we still have some heavy rain, but you can see the dry slot. The low is now east of Delmarva, and in a couple hours it'll be east of New Jersey. So it is a quick hitting nor'easter as well. All right, so it's not going to last that long. The biggest problem right now is tidal flooding. We're coming up on high tide in the next hour, hour and a half, and we are approaching moderate already. Now, I don't think this is going to go to major, but this is going to go to moderate. Plus, you have all that rain in the drains in the system and the sewers from this morning, so that adds a little bit of flooding. So there are going to be some road closures along the shore. Winds have been gusting. I've seen a 57-mile-per-hour gust on LBI and up towards Seaside. So there are some strong winds up there as well. All right, last update at 8 o'clock, we talked to Tom Barlas in Cumberland County, Linda Gilmore in Atlantic County. Let's not exclude Cape May County, where it's windy and rainy, although we are getting a break from the heavier rains right now. Marty Palugi, a great friend of mine and one of the best emergency management directors in the area, Cape May County's emergency management director, on the phone with us. Marty, how are things down on the Cape this morning?
So far, so good, Dan. I think we've dodged a bullet with the ice and snow because right now in Courthouse it's 44 degrees. We're keeping an eye on that tide. High tide is about 10:30, but the only other good thing is that we've been tracking the movement of the storm on the Dover Air Force Base radar, and it looks like the heavier rain bands are past us, so they won't hit us at the time of high tide, which would have compounded the whole situation. But we're watching the wind also. So far on the Ocean City beach, we've had gusts up to 45. It seems to be climbing a little bit over the last hour, but we're watching also the Atlantic City Electric outage map. We have Atlantic City Electric personnel stationed here at the EOC, and right now there's been very few spotty outages around the county. So far, so good.
So really, I mean, while areas to our north and west are dealing with a blizzard warning and a historic winter storm, as far as Cape May County and South Jersey go, this is just kind of a run-of-the-mill nor'easter, if you will, right?
Yeah, that's about what it is. I mean, a lot of the OEM coordinators in the municipalities on the Barrier Islands that I've spoken to, they're treating it as a normal northeaster with moderate flooding. I mean, we get 3 or 4 of them every winter anyway. As long as that wind doesn't gust any higher and become damaging to the electrical lines, I think we'll be okay.
All right, Marty Palugi, Cape May County Emergency Management Director, thanks for the update from the Cape and for joining us. And hopefully it is a not too busy day for you down in Cape May County.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Talk to you later.
All right, that's Marty Palugi, Cape May County Emergency Management Director. Again, saying what we know in that, and Marty was talking about the heavier rain letting up. You can see this dry slot, if you will, as the storm gets closer. So the idea laid out from the storm was steadiest rain, midnight to noon. All right, that was the 12-hour window we gave, and obviously it's going to end a little bit before noon. There's your heavy snow, and you see this dark blue right here. That's going to be some 2, 3, 4 inches an hour, thunder snow possible up here, and that's where you're going to be measuring the snow in feet. This was not supposed to be a snow event in South Jersey, and you know what? It wasn't a snow event. I will say that I thought we'd get an inch or 2, maybe 3 up towards Hamilton, and then it would get washed away, and we didn't even get that. We got less than forecast, but whatever we did see got washed away, so the net result was the same. Now, other parts of New Jersey getting hit hard, so there is a state of emergency. That doesn't mean you can't travel. It doesn't mean everything is shut down. State offices are closed, and New Jersey Transit buses in South Jersey aren't running. They aren't running throughout the state. So if you're waiting for a New Jersey Transit bus, you're probably going to be waiting until tomorrow. All right, so there are some closures. There are quite a few school closures. I'm just being from New England, I'm surprised. I figured, all right, no snow, no school closures, but rain is a factor in school closures, and wind, and, you know, better err on the side of caution. So those school closures are up on pressofatlanticcity.com. There's a couple in Cape May County. There's a couple in Ocean County. Most of them are centered in Atlantic County. So you can't go out and play in the snow unless you want to drive 100 miles inland, and then you can play, but you can't drive there because you probably can't get there because it is snowing so hard. Travel is going to be difficult up to our north and west. Let's talk about the tides, because that is the issue right in front of us. And right now we are coming up on high tide in about a half an hour. All right, and I want to show you a number that's a little concerning in Atlantic City. You can't probably read this, but I can. So I will tell you what I see. This green line is the surge. It's now up to 3 feet. There's 3 feet extra water in the back bays. We are at 7.26 feet. What the heck does that mean? In Atlantic City, this is representative for the whole Jersey Shore, minor flooding begins at 6, moderate begins at 7, major begins at 8. We were thinking to get around or just above 7, and here we are, a little above 7. Now, we are coming up on high tide in the next 20 minutes at this gauge, so this could go up a little more still. All right, so we are within moderate tidal flooding. That's what a coastal flood warning means. Now, the high tide does occur a little later in the back bays, and we still have some strong wind gusts as well. Winds right now are gusting. The strongest gusts I've found are actually up here from LBI on north. We're getting strong gusts in South Jersey. Marty said 45 or so in Ocean City. We're getting 45 to 50. Winds may lighten up a little bit as the center of that storm. It's not an eye of a storm because it's not a hurricane, but as the center of the storm nears, especially if it's tucked in close to the coast, the winds may diminish a bit. But for now, you still got those strong onshore winds. I see right now a 65 in Seaside Heights. All right, so that's 65, and that was the top of maximum of what I thought we would see. 42 in Harvey Cedars, 41 in Fortescue, about a 45 in Atlantic City. So there are some strong winds, and that is causing those tidal flooding concerns. So again, right now, high tide comes up within the half hour on the ocean, and we are at 7.26. Moderate begins at 7. Major begins at 8. We don't want to get up near 8, and we got about a half hour window to rise a little bit more. The good news is the heavier rain is ending, but it dropped a quick inch or two of rain for a lot of South Jersey. Let me get the latest rainfall total from the Atlantic City Airport, see how much rain has fallen. And again, snow has been negligible. Atlantic City Airport, winds are gusting 43 miles an hour right now. Heavy rain, and the temperature is 43 degrees. All right, so far from this storm, we said 1 to 2 inches plus, and I'm doing math in my head as I'm talking right now, but it looks like we are at let's see, 2.5 inches at ACY. That's a lot of rain. I mean, it was a tiny bit of snow, but yeah, 2.5 inches of rain. So some very heavy rain setting up that tidal flooding along the shore. So that is our immediate concern. We're going to continue to watch those tide gauges. If we take you down to Cape May, the tide is on the Delaware Bay side of the ferry terminal. The surge here is a little less. It's about 2+ feet, but we're still probably going to get minor to moderate flooding down towards Cape May as well. But it's the ocean and the back bay high tide that is going to be the biggest newsmaker for the next hour, hour and a half. Thankfully, it's the only high tide we have to worry about because the winds are going to shift to the northwest and empty out the back bays come this evening's high tide. One gentleman who loves this weather is our press reporter, Martin DeAngelis. I mean, give him a nor'easter over a warm, sunny beach day any day. Martin's in Longport and checks in to see how we're doing at the southern end of Absecon Island. Hi, Martin.
I was checking the very tip of Absecon Island, the jetty in Longport, and I was trying to get a nice video of the water splashing up over the rocks there, and all of a sudden the ocean was rolling down the street toward me, and I decided to get out of Dodge instead of capturing that perfect video, because it happened as I was there. It was, I've never seen that before. I've never seen a street flood in a matter of seconds. And I had driven down Atlantic Avenue into Longport and was amazed at how much better Atlantic was than Ventnor Avenue. Ventnor Avenue is bad all through down beach with just built-up water flooding. But Atlantic was clear when I went down to the point. On my way back, I was dodging flooding the whole way, and I'm watching water build up around me as I sit in the car across from Ozzy's right now. If you don't have to go anywhere, I would stay home. I would do what you need to do to stay in.
Now, you know, as a reporter, you're supposed to do anything to get that money shot or that money video. So I'd say, you got to get back out there and get that video of the ocean, sweeping you away.
I'm counting on you to do that, Dan, with your love of weather like this. I've made it plain that I'm not a big fan of this, and I've told you that a few times. So get down there to the point and see that storm tour that I know you love so much.
Yeah, we appreciate you being out there, Martin, because I'm in a warm, dry studio, and you're, almost getting swept away by the ocean. So appreciate the report. That's Martin DeAngelis from Longport. That jetty is a very popular spot for photographers to get that mad ocean, that angry ocean, if you will. And Martin said the tidal flooding is bad as well. I'm getting the latest Atlantic City number for you, and we're up to 7.42. All right? And again, what does that mean? 6 is minor, 7 is moderate, 8 is major. So now we're halfway through moderate. Now, the good news is high tide's in 15 minutes, all right? So this is a number I'm looking at here. The surges spiked to a little over 3 feet, and we're at 7.42. So this is a solid, moderate flood, but flooding doesn't know boundaries, and what I mean by that is we had all that heavy rain, so you had all this water in the system before the tidal came up, and then the tidal came up. So the tidal and the flash flood from the heavy rain will kind of meet. You don't know where one begins and one ends. So that 7.42 number, I don't expect this to go a lot higher, but this still could creep up a little more. To put it in perspective, Sandy was 8.8, all right? We are still 1.5 feet away from that, so we're not gonna challenge that. Jonas down in Cape May County was 8.8, so we're far from that. I don't want to put that in you. And if we were still an hour or two till high tide, then we might be concerned. But high tide's coming up now, so I don't expect this to go a lot higher. All right. Now, the winds are going to stay strong, but they're going to shift from the north and northwest, and that will help this high tide be the only high tide of tidal flooding that we are watching. Now, we have Martin DeAngelis covering the beach. His Twitter follow, @PressBeach, very memorable, easy to remember. Tom Barlas is out in Cumberland County, and we have Viviana Pernot. She's taking photographs and videos from Atlantic City. So our whole team is out there, all right, covering the storm. The worst of the rain is ending. The snow, non-existent. The wind will be with us all day, the tidal flooding for the next few hours, and that's what you need to know about the storm. All right, maybe some scattered snow showers later today, but again, the worst of the rain now lifting north. So the tidal flooding is our concern the next few hours. The winds will be the concern all day, and then the concern is just getting the storm out of here and looking ahead towards brighter weather, hopefully. And spring does begin, by the way, a week from yesterday. So it's the last week of winter, and obviously winter hanging on. Remember, the storm is a blizzard up to our north and west, but you can see our weather's coming from the south where things are improving. All our rain we're sending north. It's bumping into the cold air, and it's turning into impressive amounts of snow. But the worst of the rain is done, and we'll have some leftover showers, the tidal flooding, and the winds to get through the rest of today. We will continue to keep you posted, post fresh videos online, and stay with pressofatlanticcity.com for your storm coverage, great videos and pictures of the tidal flooding, your latest forecast, And we appreciate you staying with us for everything that is South Jersey weather. Thanks for tuning into our live updates this morning.